Another day, another new criminal investigation for President Trump's administration. The Wall Street Journal reporting federal investigators are now taking a good, hard look at the people who put together Mr. Trump's inauguration ceremonies. They raised over $100 million, double what any other president did in the past. KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan joins us now with more on what prompted this investigation. Dave.
And Sharon, the investigations are piling up, no question about it. And a Los Angeles man was very close to this inauguration. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. The Wall Street Journal broke the story late tonight. The New York Times added to it, reporting the feds want to know if people from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates illegally funneled money to Trump's inaugural fund, trying to buy influence in American affairs. It's illegal for foreigners to give to campaigns or to the president's party fund.
It's looking more and more that Donald Trump was a part of a criminal campaign, a criminal transition, and now presides over a criminal presidency.
Tough words tonight from California Congressman Eric Swalwell after the Wall Street Journal broke the story Thursday that federal prosecutors in New York are investigating whether President Trump's 2017 inaugural committee misspent some of the $107 million it raised from donations. The paper says the information came from people familiar with the matter.
I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
The Journal reports the U.S. Attorney's Office is also looking into whether some of the Inauguration Committee's top donors gave money in exchange for access to the incoming Trump administration or policy concessions.
The promise that Donald Trump made as a candidate that he would drain the swamp has not been fulfilled if indeed they are investigating that there was a pay-to-play operation going on for that inauguration.
In fact, as the Journal reported, giving money in exchange for political favors could violate federal corruption laws. And diverting funds from the Trump Inauguration Committee, which was registered as a nonprofit organization, could also violate federal law. A reporter for the Wall Street Journal told CNN the origin of the investigation goes back to an FBI raid on Michael Cohen's records.
We understand that in their raid of Cohen's hotel room and office and home earlier this year in April, they seized, among other things, a recording of a conversation that he had with Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, who was an advisor to the inaugural fund. We understand that in that call, he raised questions about how the inaugural fund was spending its money.
The inaugural committee, also known as the PIC, released a statement about the investigation in which it said the PIC is not aware of any pending investigations and has not been contacted by prosecutors. We simply have no evidence the investigation exists. The names of donors were provided to the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, and have been public for nearly 2 years, and those donors were vetted in accordance with the law, and no improprieties have been found regarding the vetting of those donors. Now, Thomas Barrack Jr., a wealthy Los Angeles resident and close friend of President Trump's, was put in charge of Mr. Trump's 2017 inauguration by Trump himself. Barrack's name has come up in some of the reports tonight about the inauguration investigation. Not that he's accused of doing anything wrong. He is the founder and executive chairman of Colony Capital Incorporated, one of the leading investment firms in the country, which reportedly manages more than $60 billion in assets, much of it for Arab clients.